somebody dies, we close the windows, we close the doors, and we hang a piece of black material on the front door, telling when the funeral is, and when the wake is, and all the particulars, and sometimes what the person died of. And we were sitting in the back room, and people who know come round to the back of the house. And it's not like in America where everybody brings food, they just come in and they drink tea. Tons and tons and buckets of tea they drink, and they sit and talk. And we had a young man come, he used to be my sister's first boyfriend, Michael. Rides around, delivers drugs for pharmacies. And he sat there, and he had been almost adopted by my parents, and he sat there, and my mother knows him very well, and she was talking to him about what he was doing, because he had to get married to a woman whom he'd gotten pregnant with twins, and this was 5 years after, and he had moved out, and she had heard in Limerick through the grapevine that he had moved out, almost unheard of in Ireland. And she said, "Where are you living now?" And he said, "Well, I'm living in his house down on the Strand." And my mother's ears perked up. She used to live on the Strand, on the Shannon, on the river. And he said, "This old house, I'm living on this house, in this room, halfway up the stairs and halfway down." And my mother's hair went up on the back of her head. And I was watching my mother, and I didn't know quite 100% what was going on. And she said, "So, how is it?" A leading question. And he said, "Well, there's a bed and there's a chair in the corner, a very comfortable chair, and it's quiet. I'm used to all the fuss, but a man comes in and visits me at night, a little old man comes in, and what's he like?" said my mother. "Well, he's got a moustache that sticks out like this, it's all waxed or something, and white hair, and he's very short, and he sits in the chair, and he brings a violin." And my mother's hair stood up at the back. And I was watching my mother more than him, and she said, and he said, "Well, he never says anything. And he goes away after a while." And that's nothing unusual in Ireland. You often have people come visit you, and they'll come and they'll sit, and they'll, you know, and they will talk or they will not talk, and we're neighbourly. And so when he left, she told me her father died in that chair. He was a violinist. That's a true story. I don't want to ever sit in that chair.